Hey, it's the Fort Worth Playboy.
And my Playboys Bunny.
And we're going to talk about today, yes girls versus no girls. So in pickup and in game, there's a phrase that we say, you have yes girls, you have maybe girls, and you have no girls. You want to spend your time with yes girls and convincing maybe girls into becoming yes girls.
Yeah, because you might be able to turn a maybe girl into a yes girl, but you're not going to turn a no girl into a yes girl. It just doesn't happen.
And what we see from people's conversations and what people send us is guys spend about 80% of their time, sometimes more than that,
Yes.
trying to convince no girls into becoming yes girls. And when you learn game, and we always kind of like say next. And it's not because we're so much better. It's because you learn over time to move on more quickly than trying to convince no girls. Because that's what most guys spend their time doing, is trying to figure out how to turn this no girl into a yes girl.
Okay, just to clear up, let's
define what they
no
are.
girls.
A no girl, let's say you ask her out and she says, well, I can't this week, I'm washing my hair. And that's the end of the conversation. No girls will say, no, I can't go out, and not give you any other option.
No, exactly.
A yes or a maybe girl will say, hell yes, I would love to meet you.
Yes.
Or, I can't meet you Tuesday.
I would love to meet you, but I can't that particular time. Here's an alternative. Does this work for you?
They will give you an alternative. And that's how you know your yes versus your no girls.
Yeah.
When you ask them out, and really any texting, anything other than face-to-face doesn't matter. You know, in dating, until you're face-to-face, in person, none of the texting, none of the conversations matter, because unless you can get her to meet you, it doesn't matter. She's still a no girl until she gets in front of you.
Yeah.
You know? And then it's game on. Because you can't sell over the phone.
No.
Nor should you try. You can't have sex over the phone.
No.
Nor should you try. So you can only do this in person. So that what I'm trying to say is, like, all the text game in the world will not save you if you can't get her into a room in front of you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So yes girls versus, and a lot of times, like, somebody said, well, what if you've never gotten any yes girls at all? And that's a real challenge for a lot of guys, but maybe it's because they don't know how to recognize it. You know?
I think so.
Or they're afraid to ask.
Well, and a lot of things, I think that a lot of guys have run into yes girls over the years. They just don't necessarily think of it. Like, you know, I mean, I could think of lots of clueless men or clueless guys in even high school and college, where the girls would be touching them, giggling at everything that they say, you know, always like turn towards the guy, eyes wide, you know, always smiling, always excited to see them. But the guys were so clueless, they didn't even pick up on the signs, because she wasn't saying, hey, Mike, do you want to go on a date? You know?
Yeah. Girls are hardwired to avoid rejection.
Yes.
They cannot approach you directly. So what you have to look for is indicators of interest. In text, it's very simple. You ask her out. If she says yes, great. If she says no, great. You're on to the next one. Mm-hmm. But in person, you have to be visual and look for indicators of interest. Mm-hmm. And let's talk about some of those.
Yeah.
It's very simple. First thing is, you know, in a group, we always say, who's a girl that's interested in the guy? She'll actually be within 3 feet of him, and she'll have her back to him. It's bizarre, but it's true.
Or if they're in a circle kind of all talking, she'll have her toes pointed, her shoulders pointed towards the one who she has interest in. She probably won't be looking at him, but she will be pointed towards him.
Yeah. So is she, what do you say, squared up on you?
Yes.
Is she squared up on you? Does she touch you? Touching you is an indicator of interest. She may even just touch you on the hand, touch you on the forearm, touch you on the back of the arm.
Playfully, whatever.
Yeah. Twirling her hair. Girls do it unconsciously
Playing
when they're
with their
interested.
hair. Yeah.
They're primping basically.
We're always checking our appearance when we are in front of someone that we're interested
Find
in.
attractive. She'll giggle. You hear some girl laughing and laughing and laughing, and you know your buddy's not that funny. She's interested. Because I mean, that's one of the first times, like when you're younger, you're like, Mike's not that funny, and she's just laughing at all of his bullshit. Well, she likes the guy. Yeah, she never
jokes.
Yeah, exactly. She doesn't laugh at my jokes.
And I'm hilarious.
Yeah, Mike's not a nerd. Mike's a nerd. I mean, but that's the deal. I mean, it'll be incongruent with the person you know. You know what I mean? You're like, I'm not that funny, but I am right now.
Yeah.
You know, and that's
I'm on.
Yeah, because you do have to, especially that's part of game, is just being more socially aware.
Yeah.
You know, and you're also going to be running your game. But in the beginning, I mean, you have to be aware, because guys do. They turn around like years later and go, holy shit. Especially once you learn this stuff. You go, God, she was interested in me?
Yeah, I'm
and
sure.
She was interested in me? You know, and I just missed it.
I could have hit that and I didn't even realize
I had no
it.
idea. Exactly. You know, and they'll invite you out. They'll, you know, I mean, that's very rare. But they will make effort.
Yes.
You know.
Yes, girls and maybe girls. Any girls who are genuinely trying to show interest, they're not going to ask you out, but they are going to make a way to run into you or to, as a group, or somehow, you know, do you need to come by and look at that swatch for that fabric? Whatever it is.
Exactly. They're going to get in front of you one way or the other.
Yeah.
And if you end up like at a couple parties and you run into a girl randomly 2 or 3 times, there's a high probability, not always 100%, but there's a high probability that she's putting herself in front of you on purpose. You will never have any idea.
No.
She's never going to tell you.
And she won't admit to it.
No, but she's, you know, quite often they'll know where you're going.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's not anything that guys would ever consciously do, so it's not on our radar. You know, it's what girls do. They put themselves in your proximity so you can approach if you got the balls.
So imagine how much nicer this is, dealing with a girl who is going out of her way to enjoy your company and give you ample opportunity to enjoy it more, versus the girl who is constantly sloughing you off, you know, not blowing you off, not returning any indicators of interest whatsoever, and essentially just being a bitch.
Yeah.
She may be hot, so you keep chasing after her, but that's just what you are chasing after someone who does not want you.
And it just came to mind. It's like with texting, there are some indications of interest, you know, and we always say use your phone for logistics before a date. But if you are having any type of conversation, if she's quick to respond,
yes.
If she's asking questions,
yes.
Those
Anything
are high
to keep
indicators.
That conversation going.
Yeah. If she reaches out to you first, these are all indications. I mean, there are some attention whores out there, but you get better at discerning, because if she reaches out to you and you go, "Hey, let's meet up," and she never wants to meet up, just cut her off.
Yeah.
You know,
that's
she only
an
wants attention.
Thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the best way. It's like if you can't get her in front of you, you can cut her off, and then you can spend more time focusing on the girls that are in front of you or that want to be in front of you. And that's where you see these guys say next, is because they've been around girls that are yes girls, and it's so much more enjoyable.
Yeah.
It's so much more fun than dragging somebody along.
And that truly is what you do with no girls, is even if you get them to go on a date with you, it's like pulling teeth at every step.
Yeah, and
so
they're
it's just
combative, and they're not glad, they're spoiled, and it's not something you want to deal with. So you learn quickly to cut them off and only focus in on the girls that are actually reciprocal.
Well, what is it? You don't punish. You don't. I'm just going blank.
You don't reward bad behavior.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Goodness, I couldn't think of it.
And you can't punish girls that you're not sleeping with. So you might skip that.
But
idea.
don't reward bad behavior.
No,
so don't chase after these
yeah,
no girls.
Exactly. Focus in on the ones that matter, the yes girls. Work on the maybe girls. And here's the interesting thing. If you're running multiple girls, it makes it easier for the maybe girls to become yes girls, because they see that you actually are desirable
Yeah.
over time. And if you're not up their ass all the time because you're with other, that tends to help switch their minds.
It's true.
You know? And I'm not even that good with maybe girls. You know what I mean? I mean, I've never really figured, you know, you run game and you kind
That's
of
because
naturally.
you didn't need to be. You had
No.
all these yes
You want
girls.
yes
we all
girls.
just couldn't wait to date you.
That's what I'm looking for. That's what you're looking for, you know? And then if you believe it,
Oh, you definitely believe it.
It starts to come true. Do you have anything to add, Bonnie?
I don't think so.
Oh, it's throwing me off. Guys, do not waste your time. We see it
All the
every
time.
day. Men have wasted man hours, years, trying to get no girls that have no interest in them whatsoever. Trying to discern, you know, what she mean by this. If you're not sure if she's interested or not, 99% of the time she's not.
Well, and if you say something along the lines of "I just wish she'd chase me," or "I just wish she would," you know, well, chase me.
Yeah.
That's a no girl.
Yeah, that's a no girl.
She's a yes girl for someone. She's not a yes girl.
She's saying
for
yes
you.
to someone. But it's not for you,
Yeah.
and that's okay.
That's okay.
Because there's other girls. There's 3 billion people out there.
There you go.
Hope you guys
Awesome.
have a great day.
Good luck.